At the heart of what we're doing at the Cor Deo School is about training wisdom and virtue to the whole person.
Like, as a parent, I want my kids to be able to engage in the full scope of reality, knowing not just facts about this world, but the Creator's intent. And I love that Cor Deo instills that into my children, into my kids.
Part of what we're trying to do in the classroom is this idea of forming their affections to things that are beautiful and true and good. In doing so, that begins to shape their heart and who they are as people.
Classical education really honors the mind of the child and of the learner. So I see it as really valuing the process of discovery and learning, seeing it as fun, as engaging, and as part of who we are as humans.
It's not just whatever's the next toy to purchase or whatever the next TV show is to watch. He's passionate about events in history and specific artists and things that are more suitable to passions that last.
One of the methodologies that we learn in our pedagogy is this idea that when we teach, we learn. So we have our kids stand up and present all the time, not only to build confidence, but also what a wonderful way to share what you know through presenting, and they love it.
You're going to learn about Vikings. You're going to read about them, talk about them, dress up like them, do a presentation, and make props of things that they would have had in their daily lives. So everything with literature and the history and presentation and speaking and skills like that are all going to be woven into one.
I particularly enjoy and appreciate my children's opportunity to present in front of other people, to learn that skill, to learn to embrace it and to grow with it rather than to fear it.
It was so fun to see my 6-year-old son reciting this poem without it wasn't forced, he wasn't trying to, it was readily on his tongue. He was able to go there and articulate kind of what was happening in the poem after we talked with him about it.
This education is such a beautiful thing. All of these pieces colliding with what they've been learning and how they've been immersed in areas of history, how they've been dressing up, reliving these real stories, reliving these adventures that's provoking them to look forward to their future and say, what if? What could be? How's this gonna work?
As they begin to learn about things that are beautiful, they begin to want to know more beautiful things. And they begin to reflect that in their own lives. They seek out beautiful music or beautiful literature to read. That begins to matter to them. And so they begin to then seek that out in their own lives as they develop and grow as students and then onto being wonderful adults.
When there's an aha moment in one of my students or in a number of my students, when a light bulb goes off, or when they've discovered something. And it's at that moment that I realize that their learning has traveled from their head and found its home in their heart.
I love the idea of imagining like who the children are becoming, who these students are becoming. And you think like upon, exit of the school, upon, graduation of the school, imagining who these kids are becoming, and you start to get the idea of the measure and of the gift of this education.